to our third edition of Making of a Black Dancer, the talk show. I'm Jane Johnson, founder and CEO of the Making of a Black Dancer Foundation. And I have with me today,
Michaela,
Shallow, Samaya,
Alicia,
Wanaya.
I'm Jay.
and today's topic is a funny thing, because you know what? I told them last week to be prepared this week so that they know what the topic is. So Alicia, we're going to start with you on today's topic. What is today's topic? Absolutely. And I'm not going to sit here and put your hand down. Okay. All right. So anyway, today's topic that we are talking about is branding. Okay? Branding. Okay? How can you brand yourself so that people know who you are? Because I was told by Sirion, you guys might not know who Sirion is, that if you don't brand yourself and nobody knows you, you're the best kept secret that nobody knows about.
Hold up, wait a minute, rewind.
Best kept secret that nobody knows about. I hear so many people like talking about, oh, I don't want to put my video out. I don't want people to copy my style. I don't want people to, take my choreography. So, and I used to be one of those people, okay? So I'll start with me, with my realness. And now I say, you know what, that doesn't make sense because, you're this great choreographer and nobody knows because your stuff is not out there. And if somebody takes it, guess what? They're the bootlegger, right? And I'm the creator. At least they know where the creation came from, instead of thinking that the bootlegger was the actual creator of it. So therefore now it's like when people tag me in, my work and everything, I just smile and I'm like, okay, that's my work and that's a reflection of what I do. And so branding to me is the most important part of your dance career that you can have. And the reason that I'm looking at my audience, because I want you to understand this. Young dancers, young black dancers, don't get caught in that you don't want to share your gifts. Because God is, He's looking at it that you're burying the talents that He gave you. So no longer will I bury the talents that God gave me. So if I can pass on to you, share your gifts. Share who you are and brand yourself. Somebody was over there laughing at me. Look. Somebody over there laughing at me. You got something to say. You ain't got nothing to say, but somebody was over there laughing. But no, on the serious side, show who you are, brand yourself. And I had Ungraceful wear this shirt today because it's a brand. It's who he is. He's ungraceful. You know what I'm saying? A little bit clumsy. I know his whole spiel because he's branding who he is, okay? We're Making of a Black Dancer. We wouldn't have branding, but somebody didn't brand us today because, they were supposed to do our shirts and everything, and we got here, and there was no shirts for us. I'm talking about branding.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
All that stuff. For us to showcase that, what we do or anything like that. So what I have for my brand is my little, there you go. That's my brand, Making of a Black Dancer, okay? But never, and then my battery, hold on, let's do this again. Making of a Black Dancer, okay? So never be afraid to brand yourself. Never be afraid to show your gifts, to share your talents, to let the world know who you are and what it is that you want to do. Here, Making of a Black Dancer, it's a movement, okay? It's really representing dancers throughout the United States and letting them see who we are, and that dancers that are underrepresented can be on the stages everywhere. Well, that's the topic, so let's talk. Shadow, let's talk. What do you think about branding, and how are you branding yourself, Shiloh?
Well, I think a big part of branding is consistency. You have to stay consistent when you're branding yourself, because let's say you are starting off good, you're posting every day, your views are gonna go up. But let's say you stop doing that, then they're gonna go down, and people are gonna think, oh, well, maybe she stopped, so I'm not gonna watch her anymore, or this, that, and the third. So you need to stay consistent. And a way to brand yourself is anytime you do something, post about it. Anytime you have an event, post about it. Anytime, like, let's say you're just recording yourself freestyling and you like it, post it.
love it. One thing that she said was consistency. That's the key to anybody's success, is to be consistent. I love it. Great job, Shadow. All right. Ungraceful, what do you tell us how you used to look good and how you look on it now, okay? So we're gonna have real talk here, because you know what? The truth will what?
Set you free.
All the time.
Well, I agree with Shiloh, because that's honestly one of the biggest things that I'm working on myself, is being consistent. Because in the beginning, like Ms. Jane was saying, a lot of times I want to hide who I am, hide my talents, because I've noticed a lot of times that when I would go out and dance and post videos, I would see videos of someone else that danced like me. And it's a time where I actually saw someone, I thought it was me. I promise you, I thought it was me. I'm like, when did I get to LA? How did I get here? And this, because the person danced exactly like me, other than the backflip. But how I look at it now, I know that it's important, because at the end of the day, I am who I am. Can't nobody take what I have, my gift, because that is me. I am ungraceful. I am Jay. I am Jerry. What makes me me is me, and I'm original. Everything that I have, it comes strictly from me, and that's how I present myself. When people see me, they know I'm graceful. They see my name, they see me, and it's very important, because, like she said, if you're not branding yourself, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're not gonna really be anybody. Not saying you have to be someone, but to put your craft into a position of getting to your dreams and your goals without someone taking it from you, you have to make it a brand, to make it official. If not, somebody else will take what you have, and nobody will ever know about you.
And just to add on to that, just think about this. They loved your style that much that they replicated it. You get what I'm saying? That part. They loved your style that much that they wanted to replicate it. Because honey, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody replicating stuff that they don't think is valuable. Okay? So let that sink in. Okay, so let's come on down the aisle. Ease on down the road. Hey, hey, hey! Okay, Quinaya, let's talk.
Okay, so when you're branding yourself, you can't be scared to post. Like, if it's a video that you see and you mess up in the beginning, go ahead and post it, because your mistakes can help your future, in all honesty. Because there's many videos of me, and we're not gonna talk about that. But your mistakes will help you grow in the future. And a lot of people make mistakes. Don't worry about them. Just worry about yourself, because your future don't depend on them. It depends on you.
Okay, yes, I love that. Okay, and then I also want you, because they dance for a company. They dance for my company, and I'm so blessed to have them. Can we turn around and show that brand? Can we hold up the hair and show that brand? Okay. So you want to brand, right? Branding, guys, branding, so people know who you are. And trust me, people know the name Vision Elite Royalty. They know it. It's a household name. We are making ourselves a brand. You need to make yourself a brand. So that brings us back to Alicia. So what do you give? Because you know what? You told me, we had a conversation, and you said you were heavy into social media and you were an influencer at one point. So let's talk about that.
Well, I wouldn't say an influencer, but when I was younger, I did want to have a social media presence, not just on YouTube, but I also wanted to be active on my Instagram, because those are the main two accounts that I had. Don't tell my grandma, but I was not allowed to have social media, and I went and had social media anyway, because like I said, it's what I wanted to do. And there was a point in time where literally you could not get me off Instagram. I was on there every day. I wasn't necessarily posting every day, but I was interacting with other people, branching out. And like a lot of the followers that I have are people that I've never seen in real life. And some of them, I know of them in real life, but I've never had a face-to-face conversation with them. But if you ask them who I am, they'll probably tell you my Instagram name. They'll be like, oh, that's that dancer girl right there. That's her right there. But a couple of years ago, I don't know, I guess I just kind of lost confidence. and I stopped, and like to this day you will see that I rarely post on Instagram. I've just been taking like a lot of time off, and anytime I try to have the heart to post on like YouTube, because me and my sister, we said we were gonna start our YouTube channels together, and I got so scared because we said we were gonna do hair together. Her Snapchat handle is Ari by the Scout. She has it on Instagram and whatnot, and I'm so happy for her because she posts all about it all the time. But like for me, I just got so scared because I did a hair video and it didn't turn out right, and I got so embarrassed. After that I stopped trying to do YouTube altogether. But when I made the new page that I have, the other dance page that I have, what I wanted to do with that one, instead of like just posting dance videos, I wanted to do like fitness and stuff like that, getting back in shape, because let's be honest, I'm not as in shape as I used to be. And so for other dancers like me, and not just dancers, but people who also feel like they've lost that sense of momentum, I just want them to get back in shape, and I want to post the videos of people doing exercises in their home and stuff like that, because I don't always have access to like the weights and things that I want to do personally. So to make up for that, I want to do videos at home where I'm doing a couple exercises, listing out what I have done and seeing if other people, like interacting with other people, seeing what they think about it. I'm not necessarily going to do diet plans and things like that, because let's be real, a cheeseburger a day is good for me, you know? A cheeseburger a day is good for me, you know? Let's be real. Like, I'm not gonna act like I eat healthy, all that stuff, all that healthy stuff you're supposed to be doing. But I do want to, for once, get back in shape and, let people see that and share it. It's just a matter of getting the confidence again.
And let's talk about that. There's two things that were key, and I don't want you to miss it. One thing that she said is that she wasn't allowed to have an Instagram account. Well, if you're trying to be a dancer or anything that has to do with the public and your career depends on it, we can't say that they can't have an account. But what you can say is, let's do it the safe way. Because I find a lot of times that, it's like everybody thinks that the internet is bad and everything like that. Okay, here's my thing. You give a child a phone, but you tell them they can't do Instagram, but you give the child a phone.
Say that again.
You give a child a phone, but you tell them they can't do Instagram, but you give the child a phone. Okay? That right there is a contradiction, okay? So my thing is, if you don't give them a phone, let them use your phone to be able to post what they love to do and keep it a safe account. So then that way they still can brand themselves, but in a safe environment. Mm-hmm. Because anybody that actually has an Instagram or Facebook, if used in the wrong way, it can be bad for anybody of any age. And that's it. Because I have grown adults saying, I had to take a Facebook break. And I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And that's because maybe the content and the activity that you're involving yourself in is getting away from what you're supposed to be. So that consistency and just the whole Facebook, Instagram, all that, just know that it's for your business, for your purpose, and not for your pleasure, because there's a difference between purpose and there's a difference between pleasure. So please allow your children to do what they're passionate about, because when you tell them to stop, you tell them to stop dreaming, and eventually they will lose that confidence that they need to be great. Okay, now I'm with you, I feel you, because there are some of us that just scroll through the thing and be like, oh, honey, they are not using that to build them. I got you. But that's why I say a safe environment for them, a healthy environment, one that nurtures them, one that allows them to be creative, to use their imagination. Because I see this way too many times, adults say, go over there and sit your tail down. Okay, well, you just told them to stop dreaming and sit down. And then when they're like 30 years old, why don't you go on up there and get up out there and get a job? Okay, well, when they was creative in using their imagination, you took that from them, okay? So we want to talk about that, because you know what? We have young Black men and women losing their passion and stopping their purpose that God put them here to do because of somebody telling them, You need to get a job. Stop daydreaming. Stop doing that. Well, that's what God put us here to do, is to use our creativity. Okay? So, faith without works is dead. We understand that. But a child without an imagination, even an adult without an imagination, ends up being a slave to whatever occupation that they end up going with because they were told to get a job.
And that's why I applaud parents who have their who manage their children's social media. Like, they let them be them. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily have to be the child monitoring the page. And at that time, it didn't necessarily have to be me. I just wanted to, express myself. And like I said, I applaud the adults and the parents that let their children have that room to be creative on social media, even if they're not on social media themselves. Just giving them an outlet and a place to express themselves, because some people may not get that at home.
Right.
So.
And Michaela, do you have any input or anything?
I do. I think just piggybacking off of what everybody said, I think not just confidence, but knowing yourself as a person and self-identity is what's going to make your brand name a brand. And just going back to what Alicia said, parents, don't try to control your children in the way of expressing themselves to a point to where a kid wants to withdraw, because I feel like that is such a detrimental point in their life, and it just really affects the whole overall life. And when you do your social media, don't be afraid to be yourself, because authenticity is so important, because trying to be somebody else isn't going to make you feel any better than just trying to be yourself. And being embarrassed, it's okay. I've been embarrassed plenty of times, just posting about who knows what, but I just think that you being you is the most important part, and being confident with who you are, whether it's the shape of your body, how tall you are, how you look, how your hair is, and just what you're saying is pretty much all that matters.
And that, I can say that Michaela is my child, and one thing that I loved about her was her creativity. And I'm going to tell you, I never told her to sit down. What I did is, she was like, can you see? I put on the little, those things that you, when you go to bed, those little masks.
Yeah.
And I can see you. I can see you. Keep doing what you do. But I never told her to go and sit down somewhere, because I wanted her to be creative and I wanted her to thrive. And I think that that's how she is today. And when you see her and you see her perform, that creativity comes out. Okay, so never, please, if you don't listen to anything else, please let your children have creativity and imagination.
Can I ask a question? How do you find that confidence to put yourself out there? I think that's something that not just me, but I feel like everyone needs to be asking. Some people are too embarrassed to ask. How do you find that confidence to say, I'm going to do this regardless of what I look like? This is my brand. This is what I'm going to do. And not necessarily I don't give a care about how anyone feels about it or thinks about it, but I just want to be able to have that self-confidence to stand in front of the camera and say, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm this person. This is my company. I'm putting myself out there for this, that, and the third.
Well, that's pretty easy for me, because I feel like this. A lot of the people who are afraid to express themselves has stepped a little bit away from God. And what I say by that, it's like, God, did you forget about me? God, did you, I feel that, I'm not as close to you as I was, or I'm not doing things the way that I feel this society says that I should. Because, see, when you step outside of God, you care more about what society says. Mm-hmm. See, me, I can do whatever. It's like, hey, Miss Jane, can you do this? Miss Jane, can you go get me this? Miss Jane, I don't care, because I'm not afraid to speak my mind. If I have something and you ask me something, I always say, do you want the truth? You get what I'm saying? So when you find yourself and you know who you are and whose you are, it's different. It hits different. So when you get outside of that God, you know what I'm saying? When you get outside of God, you need to come back in. So how do I do that? Start reading the Bible and learn it for yourself. Because what I find is that a lot of people don't know God. They don't want to read about the Bible. They don't want to, do anything with God. They're trusting someone else to tell them or to teach them about the Bible. And 9 times out of 10, everybody that's teaching the Bible is teaching their version of the Bible, because where they fell short in life. You see what I'm saying? Where I fall short in life has nothing to do. I said, okay, God, forgive me for my shortcomings, but how can I get better? How can I be a better role model? How can I do this better so that this way I can stand and go before them and say, no, this is what I did, but this is how I corrected it to be able to stand and be able to do anything. So people always ask, well, how can you just do this? How can you create a TV show? How can you have a dance thing? Because God said I can do all things through him. And I believe it. So when you get close to God, you get what I'm saying? Honey, it's a beautiful thing. You get what I'm saying? And then you know who you are. And you know how beautiful you are. And you say, you know what, I'm doing pretty good. And it doesn't matter what people think. Because people go, well, honey, let me tell you something. You know, I bought, at one time I had like 7, 10 houses. You want to know what? I was still never going to be good enough in nobody's eyesight. People are going to always find fault in you. You get what I'm saying? My cousin was like, you know, I just, you know, we was doing your mortgage. And we was doing everything. You have assets, you a millionaire. I'm like, I'm a what? Your assets is that. You know what I'm saying? But people are going to always find fault in you. You know what I'm saying? And I had to be in my 30s at that time. So my thing is that, okay, they're gonna have their opinion on you, whether you're skinny, whether you know, oh, she's skinny, she must be hitting that pipe or something. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna always have something to say about you. But what you gotta understand is know who you came from. What?
I don't do that, y'all. I don't do that.
I'm just saying, this is real talk.
It is real talk. It is real talk.
I'm just being for real. Somebody's gonna, no matter how good Shiloh is doing, they're gonna find something. Have you not experienced that?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good you are doing. Somebody's always gonna have something to say. And that's it. So you gotta say, okay, am I going to go with this or am I going to go with that? And this is where it's at. You get what I'm saying? Because God is the answer for everything. And I'm going to just put it out there. That's who I stand by. And let me tell you something. Your life should look like his image. And when you understand that and when you really, really get into the Bible, the people, they're never going to be happy. You want to know why? Because they're not happy with themselves. They got to start to love themselves first. So are you going to wait for the people to start loving themselves or are you going to love you? There you go. All right. Would anybody else like to chime in?
I guess I chime in because it kind of goes with what your question. Since I call myself ungraceful, it helps me be a little bit more expressive and a little bit more true to myself because a lot of times, even when I'm performing, there's been times where I'll mess up, but I'll turn a mess up into a move or something, or I'll even post my clumsiness. I'll post videos of when I actually would trip or fall off or something, and everybody's laughing, but at the end of the day, that shows who I am, and that's kind of how I go about myself.
It also says that you can fall, but you can get up and still keep moving forward. Because in all honesty, there's nobody out here that's perfect, okay? Unless you're trying to be God.
Don't try to do that.
Don't
do that. You can't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to do that.
Okay, so down this row, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with what everyone says so far, especially about confidence, which is very, very important because that's something that I had to learn to grow with. And Miss Jane pretty much covered like how that you all can obtain confidence by not being a people pleaser because that's not going to bring you nowhere. And at the end of the day, when you're pleasing everyone else, you're going to realize you never pleased yourself.
Woo! Rewind! Rewind! Okay, say that again.
If you focus on being a people pleaser, at the end of the day, you realize that while you was pleasing everyone else, you realize you never actually pleased yourself. And
I love it. I love that.
This also connects to going right back when we was talking about branding. I would always I have a lot of videos of myself and photos of myself that I was like, I'm gonna post this, and then right when I was about to, I was like, no. I was like scared, and I was like, at the moment I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. And then later I would just go back to the photos and I would be like, I wish I would have posted this because I feel like it could have could have did well, but I feel like I was just so focused on what would people think, how would people react to this, when really you just have to really put yourself out there. And I learned that I need to put myself first. I need to learn to know what's good for me, not what's good for everyone else. And when I started recently doing that and started posting more than I did I posted more this month than I did all last year, and just from doing that, I just increased. But just from doing that, I've seen a huge increase in a lot of things, and I just seen a big turnover. So I learned a massive lesson for myself, and I hope you can learn that too. That you just express yourself. Don't worry about what other people think, because what they think will never truly satisfy you. So just be who you were from.
Because you want to know what? Tomorrow is not promised. You don't need the extra stress in your life. You don't need, and at the end of the day, everybody's going to go on with life. You'll be in the hospital somewhere, you'll be buried somewhere, you know what? And people get over you. So you have to take care of you. You need to invest in you, and that'll be the best thing that you can do. Take out your Bible. Let's get rooted. Take out your Bible, start reading it, start understanding it for yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying, because you heard what I said earlier. They're only going to give you their version of it because they've had some shortcomings in life, and so they make excuses for why they did not achieve what they needed to achieve. So I need you to clear your mind, reset, and let's talk about how you feel. Are people making you feel loved? Do you feel that you have the support in your home that you need? You know what I'm saying? Earlier we were talking about that. What were you saying about that?
I was saying that it was very important to have the support, because that's what leads people to, when you were talking about the suicide. I feel like if she had that support to understand that you're enough, you don't have to look like anybody else. You don't have to be like anybody else, because let's be real, social media is not real. It's really, really not, if we're being honest, because people fabricate things. And it's easy to do that nowadays.
They fabricate a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to separate reality from social media nowadays. So even if you can't see it yourself, having people around you and surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded just like you will help you to understand, you're beautiful. You can do anything that you put your mind to.
Like-minded people, yes. And what Alicia was speaking on, Shiloh was telling us something earlier about a young lady that was, can you tell that story?
So I was watching this video, and basically this girl, she was a teenager, she was like a regular high school girl, and she was on social media, and she seen these people, and she wanted to be exactly like them. She wanted to look like them, she wanted to act like them, she wanted to do all that. Then she started cutting herself, trying to commit suicide, because she didn't feel as though she didn't think she was enough, because she was looking at those people and wanting to be like them, when that's not who she is supposed to be. She's supposed to be herself. She wanted to be someone she's not. She wanted to be, I'm gonna say, these fake people, because they're putting on an image for social media to be something they're not.
And a lot of times they have filters, they have plastic surgeons, they have contour, Photoshop, they have all that, and you're trying to be like them. I remember seeing something on social media, piggybacking off of what Shiloh said. The girl had herself in the beach somewhere on a thing, and then she had a blooper, and there was, what was it, a little dinosaur or something in the background? And it was like she was on this luxury vacation, and she photoshopped and forgot to take the thing out. So my thing is, stop believing these fake things that people are doing. And I'm here to tell you, you are enough. Get into your Bible and believe what God says that you are, and not what social media, because you need to know that you are enough. And we have to start accepting ourselves for the sizes, the shapes, the looks, because what you're telling God is that he is a liar, because he didn't make you the way that he created you to be. So you're not happy with that. Honey, you get all this stuff done, you go up in there, God might not even know who you are to give you your blessings that he had coming for you. Okay? So just get into yourself. And if nobody else told you today, you are enough. We love you. We honor you. And we thank God for you. You know what I'm saying? So in closing, anybody else have anything to say? I'm when it comes to this, I get emotional, I get compassionate about it because we are losing too many people over silliness, okay? And the next show, let's see if they pay attention for this one. And the next show that we're gonna get into black on black crimes within our community, okay? Because I'm tired of it. It's enough. And you know, if Samaya is beautiful and I feel that I'm not beautiful, is it okay for me to hurt her? Is it okay for me to fight her? Is it okay for me to do these things to her? No, it's not. Okay? Because God made us all beautiful. And if you believe it, then you can understand. You can grow so much further because God made you special. And he made you so special that there is only one of you, unless you're an identical twin. But then he made you, for the most part, unique. And we gotta have some laughter because God also wants us to be healthy, okay? And it's okay to laugh, it's okay to live, and it's okay to love. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna ease on down the road. It's okay. You know how they say, you're gonna have to ease on down the road. You're gonna have to get your life together, clear out that mindset, that stinking thinking, get rid of it. And it's time for you to stand up, put your left foot in, put your right foot in. You know what I'm saying?
You shake it out.